Hey, my name is Kim. Welcome back to my channel. If you've been here for a while, you would know that I mostly do mom-related content on my channel, but every now and then, if there's a TV show or a book that I'm interested in talking about, I will sometimes film what I call a Media Monday episode to do that. I think the last one of these that I did was my favorite scary movies to watch with my tweens, so if you're interested in that, I will link it below. Today is not a family-related show at all. This is just a show for mom. But I wanted to cover the first couple episodes of YELLOWJACKETS season 3. So this is my favorite show in a really long time. I have been in love with the show since the first season came out, and yeah, really excited for the new season. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I do also have some books that I want to film a Media Monday episode on, but that will be coming up later. So stay tuned for that as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a video for every episode of the new season, but I might do one for just the opening 2 episodes and then the finale, so the 10th episode, but we'll see. It's just a lot of work to do every single episode. Anyways, so let's get into it and I'll share my thoughts on the first 2 episodes. So I know that some people didn't love these first 2 episodes. Personally, I absolutely loved them. So I really loved season 1. I thought it was 10 out of 10. I liked season 2. I didn't love season 2. There were parts about season 2 that I really liked, or that I really loved, but I did not love it as a whole. I felt it was a little bit rushed, especially the last couple of episodes. I think if they had done 10 episodes, it would have improved it greatly. However, I did love the answers that we got in season 2. So, but season 3, oh my gosh, these first 2 episodes were just everything that we had been missing in season 2, and I'm so excited. It was funny, it was campy, it had so many moments that were throwbacks to season 1. I loved seeing them in the wilderness versus like season 2 was filmed on a stage, and so the snow was all fake. It was filmed in the summer, and you could tell, honestly. But I really love seeing them back in the wilderness again. That was a big highlight for me. I loved how it opened up the same way that season 1 episode 1 did, but with the game Capture the Bone. That was so fun. And the exchange between Mari and Shauna, I found myself wondering what happened between them. I felt like I had missed something, and I don't think I did. I think it's just that Shauna is finally tired of Mari's crap. So I know their setup is a little bit elaborate, and some people have asked questions about that. Personally, I'm just choosing to suspend my disbelief here. I love the setup. I loved their matching like outfits. I think that someone said somewhere that they made them from the plain seat covers. Yeah, if you've been out in the wilderness as long as they have, I could see them being very resourceful. And we already know that Isla is really good at making things, so I can get behind it. The only thing I didn't love was the paper lanterns, because as a BC resident, you do not want to be releasing an open flame into the middle of the forest in the spring, summer. Just gonna say that, but it was cute, I guess. It seems like they're really getting into like the rituals and stuff now, which is interesting to see. We are inching closer and closer to what we saw in the series premiere, so season 1 episode 1, so that is exciting. I loved how at the end of episode 1 Mari ended up in the pit. I felt like that was kind of to appease the fans who think that Mari is the pit girl in season 1 episode 1. So Natalie's funeral was the most depressing thing I have ever seen. I cannot believe her mom is horrible person. I'm sure she's endured her share of trauma and that affects her personality, but oh my gosh, she gets up there, says something about having to push Natalie on a swing because she had to, and then that's it, it's over now. Natalie's life and the funeral, and then the group goes to the bar to celebrate Natalie's life in a way she would have better appreciated. We also see that someone's watching them. This is the most exciting part for me about these first 2 episodes, is that it seems clear to me that Postcard Sender is back. So, oh, so exciting. I am one of those people who did not believe for a minute that Jeff sent the postcards. I know he sent the blackmail text, but I don't think he sent the postcards. So I think this person is the one who did it. One of the highlights for me of this episode is Misty going through Nat's storage unit, and putting on her jacket and taking on her persona. I loved that. Oh my gosh, so cute. And then she goes to the bar, drinks 7 shots of whiskey, creates chaos. I loved that. I also loved that the bartender was the chop shop owner from season 2. So I don't think they're meant to be the same character. They're just reusing actors, but that was fun. Yeah, Misty threatening to light the bar patron's crotches on fire was hilarious. Obvious reference to season 1 when Misty and Nat were blackmailing the fellow citizen detective into giving them a police report that he had hacked for them. And then later she's super drunk and she's wandering the street and she says, "Crotch your burn." Hilarious. So funny. Then Ben finds the pit and the bars and everything. Okay, a few people have said that this is giving Lost vibes. To me, I'm wondering if that actually happened. Maybe he isn't eating like peanut butter protein bars. Maybe he's not drinking hot chocolate. Maybe he's imagining something else, because he's obviously losing his mind a little bit. In the second episode, we see him talking to someone that we can't see. He could be talking to Paul. He could be talking to Kristen, although I don't think she survived season 2, but you never know. We still haven't found her body yet. So I don't know. I think that either he's talking to Paul in his imagination, or he is possibly talking to Kristen. But I hope that there is nobody else in the wilderness that isn't a part of the group. I would not love that. So we also see Ty and Van go out for dinner, and Ty eats foie gras. It's so weird because she was a vegetarian in season 1 and now she's eating foie gras, which is like #1 animal cruelty type meal. But I think it might be intentional to show her descent into chaos again. Anyways, my theory. The waiter having a heart attack. Now, my first knee-jerk reaction was that maybe the person who has been watching them somehow poisoned him or something, or slipped him something to try and help out Ty and Van, help them escape. But that seems a little over the top. They're just running out on a bill. They're not like running from a life or death situation. But that was my first knee-jerk reaction. We also learned that Ty has been impeached. So that answers that question. Kind of disappointing. She worked so hard to be elected, but probably for the best for everyone. It was fun seeing Ghost Nat appear to Misty as well in the bar. I thought for a moment we might see Juliette Lewis, but I mean, it was Sophie Thatcher. So yeah, it was kind of like Sophie appearing to, or not Sophie, sorry, Nat appearing to Misty the same way that Jackie, it was appearing to Shauna throughout season 1. And I think that about sums up episode 1. So I've kind of blended episode 2 with this a little bit, but I'll move on to talking about episode 2. Okay, I have a big question. Why didn't Van want Ty to go to the hospital with her? I feel like she's hiding something to do with her cancer diagnosis, but I'm not sure what yet. There's something off there. And why was she at the hospital all day? I mean, here in Canada, we have really long waits for things like stitches, but it's odd, right? I want to know what she's hiding. So Lottie shows up to Shauna's house. I feel like, so because the two timelines parallel each other, I feel like Lottie is going to latch onto Callie in the same way that teen Lottie is latching onto Travis and abusing him in the teen timeline in season 3. So yeah, curious to see what happens there. I don't think that Lottie is as innocent as the end of season 2 made her out to be. After seeing the way she is treating Travis in the teen timeline, I really think that we're going to see more about what happened to adult Travis. I don't buy for a second what happened in season 2. She knows more than she's letting on, or she did more than she is letting on. Okay, so the way that Misty treats Walter in this episode really reminds me of how Nat treated her in season 1 on their road trip. Like, she's so mean to him and really pushes him away. And I don't know, I think that might anger him, and he's gonna come back and something is going to happen with him. I also just don't think he is as innocent as he makes himself out to be, and I don't think he's as helpful as he makes himself out to be. I think it's kind of weird that he is trying to separate her from her friends. I don't think it's for her best interest. I always think it's kind of odd when a new relationship comes in and tries to push friendships that have existed for a long time apart. That's really not the new partner's place, right? So curious to see what happens there, but I don't trust him. Okay, so the name of this episode is interesting, Dislocation. Like, we know Mari dislocated her knee, but I also think it is representative of what's going on in the wilderness at this point. I feel like the group is fracturing. We see when they leave to look for Mari, Nat tells Shauna to go with her. Shauna says no, and so Misty goes with Nat, and then Van and Ty ask each other, oh, do you want to go? Yes, but not with them. So everyone is kind of splitting up here. And then we also see Travis and Lottie go off again. So yeah, the group is really fracturing. I'm so hoping that we get the split into warring clans that we were promised by the end of this season. And I think at this point, Shauna might lead one group and Nat might lead the other. Maybe Nat is not the antler queen that we saw in the group, and maybe that group that we saw in season 1, the Acolytes, is not the only group of survivors. Maybe there's more survivors than what we think. So very interested to see what happens there. But at this point, yeah, I am really hoping that we get to see warring clans. I'm also wondering if Ben and Mari will end up forming their group. Maybe Nat will join them. I don't know. I have so many questions and so many theories. I am so curious to see who the person is that came into the bathroom behind Shauna and left the phone with the Queen of Hearts ringtone playing and the picture of the wilderness. That was very postcard-esque. So whoever this person is, I really think that they sent the postcards. I think at this point we're meant to believe that it is adult Mel because of the events from the teen timeline and adult timeline paralleling each other. And we see the interaction between Mel and Shauna, which, oh my gosh. So I think we're supposed to believe it's Mel. So maybe Hilary Swank is Mel. That's what a lot of people think, but I also feel like that's a very obvious, like what they want us to think. So I am not sure, but we know that there's a blonde woman watching the group and leaving envelopes for Shauna, leaving phones for Shauna to find. So curious to see who that is. And it makes me think back to season 1. I don't know if this was the very first episode, maybe the second, but when Shauna and Ty met in a diner and Shauna said, "So there's no sign of the others? Okay, then we're good." So I do think that we have a split in warring clans, and something happened to the other group of survivors. I don't know if maybe they all separated after rescue, or maybe they left some of them in the wilderness and now they're coming back. But I am so looking forward to answers. Oh yes, one more thought. I mentioned Ben talking to someone. The hot chocolate, that was a clear throwback to when Jackie was given hot chocolate at the end of season 1, and it turned out to be in her imagination and she died. So is Mari dying? I mean, I don't think so. Does the hot chocolate actually exist? I'm not sure, because I don't know if those supplies that Coach found were real. Number one, how would he get that big, heavy container out of the pit with one leg? I think it'd be hard enough as a fully able-bodied person. So very curious, but at this point, I'm sort of leaning towards those supplies not being real. And so I don't know what's going on with Mari either. Maybe she is more hurt than what we are currently seeing. So anyways, those are my brief thoughts on the first 2 episodes. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to cover all of them, but I will cover some probably. And I will probably cover the finale. But yeah, highly recommend this show. Hopefully you have already watched the episodes if you watched this through to the end, because there was a lot of spoilers in there. But if you have not seen it and you just chose to watch this out of curiosity, highly recommend. It's such a fun show. The mystery box format is just something that I have not experienced since Lost, and I love it. So that wraps up today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.